What's up everybody, we are Deanna and Phil. Deanna here is from the United States and I, Phil, am from Germany. And in this video we're gonna talk about high school differences between the US and Germany. So the first point we want to talk about is the high school concept. And in Germany I think we are a little bit peculiar with that because we do not have only one type of high school, we have 3 or even 4 different types of high schools. And they're kind of separated by skill level. So in elementary school now, depending on how you perform, you get a recommendation and then you go to the first tier of high school, which will potentially be the university students later on. The name of the first tier is the gymnasium. Then there's a second tier of high school, which usually do apprenticeships and stuff like that. The second tier is called Realschule. And then there's a third tier of high school, and those are also like apprenticeship jobs. And the third one is called Hauptschule, the main school. Ah, that's weird.
Interesting.
Yeah. So you kind of get categorized into how good you are in school, and you go to a completely different physical school. Like there's a separate building for each one, and you just go there with all the nerds or the wonks, and then all the other people go to that one, and that's how it's separated. And I feel like that's kind of weird now that I think back about it.
What if you're really good at math and you're just like okay at reading or something, or language or something? Like, why would you pigeonhole someone?
That's a problem. If you go to the first tier one, you are in all the advanced classes. And it very often happens that people are, for example, good at math and they are very bad at French or a third language.
I could see that helping the people in the advanced school a lot, but it's also hindering people in, like, say the second tier school or like third tier. You're not getting advanced
I think
education.
Might not be as great.
But do you have the fancy names for every grade?
No, and they are so hard to learn for a non-native speaker.
I remember being confused when I first went into high school. There's freshman, which is 9th grade, sophomore, which is 10th, junior, which is 11th, and then senior is 12th. And I thought it was so weird to me because junior didn't sound right.
Junior sounds young, right? Exactly. Dude, when I don't know what first I encountered that, watching American Pie or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, my sophomore year, like, what word are you saying? Sophomore?
Such a weird
sophomore?
word.
What is that? I think it's kind of cool. You're always like, yeah, my junior year. In Germany, you go to school and you usually have grades 1 to 6. Like 1 is the best.
Oh, that's so opposite.
And then 4 is the worst one you can pass with. And we have 2 different grades of failing, 5 and 6. If you fail with a 5, you just failed. But if you fail with a 6, you failed hard.
It's failing as a fail. Why would you fail hard?
Because you combine the grades overall in the end too. If you have 2 or 3 5s on your transcript at the end of the year, you have to redo the class. If you have 1 6, I think you have to redo the class. Something like that. So the 6 is way worse. It's very hard to get a 6, I think. 5s happen sometimes. I think I had 1 or 2 5s on the transcript in my entire school career.
Interesting.
But never had to repeat a class. One point of this video is all what we see from high schools are from these movies, like 10 Things I Hate About You, Mean Girls,
Freaks and Geeks TV show.
What is it? 21 Jump Street.
21 Jump Street.
All these, and it seems so cliche. And when I met Deanna, I noticed that a lot of that stuff is true, and I think that's so interesting from a foreign perspective that a lot of these things seem to be true. And really, that's the best student is called the valedictorian, right? With the best grade.
Yeah.
And he's mandatory, has to do. He. She. It.
They. Just say them.
They just have to do the speech. It must be great for the others. Like, look at. But funny thing, the locker situation. That is so movie, dude. I want one of these lockers. We didn't have that. It's so sad. Germany is just sad in comparison. It did mean people sometimes write something bad on somebody's locker.
I feel like that never. Maybe it did happen. I don't remember.
Or locked a poor little one in their locker and closed it and we're like, oh yeah, dude.
I do remember the gym lockers though, and they were horrible because I think they were a little bigger and you could actually put someone in there, but I feel like the whole gym locker situation in general was horrible because you had to change in front of people while going through puberty. That was like the worst.
Yeah, we never did that. Sports and extracurricular activities, and I think in America there's just way more value and emphasis on sports in high school and college, right? Whereas with us, that was really not a big thing.
I mean, I think it varies on region to region. We have more American football is the biggest thing. On Friday evenings, people would go to the football games and watch the football players play football. But we had track and field, swimming, softball. I was a part of the swim team and the long distance track team. You could be basketball. There's everything.
It's so interesting how normal you speak about it. We have that. We don't have any. High school is not for sports. You have one time a week you have PE, which is mandatory.
Yeah.
That's PE. That's in your normal schedule.
Yeah.
But then we don't have a basketball team. We don't have a football team. All we had was like 1 or 2 opportunities as a extracurricular activity, like a club. We had like a chess club. We tried in like 11th or 12th grade to do a little flag football team, but that was really, we just got these things and we're like, can we maybe use the sports facilities for an hour after school? And it was like paperwork and stuff. Yeah, you can. That was our club, was like 6 people.
Oh.
And there are no sports offered officially by the high school. Like we had one prom, that's it. Like high school, 7 years or whatever. Prom and done.
We have junior and senior prom. So as a junior or a senior, you're allowed to go. If you're a guy or a girl and a senior or junior asks you, when you're a freshman or a sophomore, you can go
then
to
you're
the
hot property.
hot property. It's so weird. Now that I think back at it, it's kind of ridiculous. People would ask people to prom in like proper proposals, like big letters. Will you go to prom with me, Katie? Or Stephanie, will you be my prom date? Or Sarah, well, usually guys were asking girls.
I think the high school system in the US forces you way more to have these social interactions,
Yeah.
to do sports, to go to events.